disappointing and alarming is that there's not more meaningful regulation and intervention on it at the levels that can actually affect change. We need people to stand up against this and say, no, I'm not going to buy that product, or I'm not going to engage at the level that many people are, and we're even being encouraged to with AI in ways like with the chatbots and things like that. And we need to stand up against it.
Today on the We Share podcast, we're joined by former Marine Scout sniper and cybersecurity engineer Brandon Sene. Brandon is co-founder of HYV Social. It's the opposite of Instagram and TikTok. It's a social networking app with less screen time and more real-life hangouts. And we're back on the We Share podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Alex.
All right. We're doing some super fun interviews today. Our first one today is with a former Marine Scout sniper, but he's really nice. I've already talked to him, so we're good there. And he
also did scout me out. So
so he's still doing it.
Happened.
Yeah. And he is a cybersecurity engineer, like a very lengthy resume for Brandon Sene. But the thing that you're here for today, Brandon, is you're the co-founder of HYV Social. You co-founded that app along with Jason Lee and Cody Kronberger. Did I pronounce their names correctly?
You did. Nailed it.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Brandon, how's it going?
It's going amazing. And
welcome to our We Share Hive. Yeah. This is where we buzz around.
We can buzz around in here. I want to tell everybody right off the bat, HYV is not spelled traditionally. It's not HIVE. It is HYV, all capitals. So HYV Social, HYV.
And he is going to explain how you came up with that.
Yeah, tell us all about HYV Social.
Yeah. So the name specifically is just kind of circumstantial. We started out with HYV because we were like, okay, we're building, it's a social platform, a social connection platform. And we were like, HYV is kind of what we landed on. We're like, that makes sense, build your HYV, stuff like that. And then when you get into like trademarking, trying to secure domains and all that stuff, it's such a highly used name that we did multiple iterations and variations of it to try to land on something. And I guess HYV is what we ended up with. And we're like, yeah, it's all
so
right. We can do that, right?
Now let's reverse engineer and come up with an inspirational story of how, other than,
so avant-garde.
We did it too with We Share.
We went through many titles trying to figure what matches us, what is also available.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that mattered too.
So you get limited. Then question, did you feel like there might be any brand confusion or thinking that you might be related to Bumble? Because they are a social connection type thing. Yeah,
it's actually a big challenge that we're facing, right? It's kind of a long-winded answer here. But we are facing the cold start problem and the network effect problem, which is basically we need users on our app for it to be useful, but users need it to be useful to be on our app, right? So
correct.
So that is a big challenge, and there's a lot of people in the space that is seemingly very similar to us, but we are actually quite differentiated from them. But the language that you have to kind of use to explain us puts us kind of squarely in the sea of all these other applications. So yes, it's a big concern of ours. Like, how do we differentiate and kind of get those differentiating factors out there? Not only Bumble, but almost all social media platforms, to be honest. So.
Because clearly we all consume social media, use it, but there's going to be benefits to some. I have ones I do not like. I have ones I am horrible at using, but I should probably use more, like LinkedIn. It's just not in my habit. Yeah. I try to make it my habit. I do know.
That's how I reached out to you initially, because we were looking for marketing
on LinkedIn, and I like every once in a while, like, I need to check, because I do get so many. I have had, like, the guy from Australia that we brought in
LinkedIn.
Was through LinkedIn. I'm like, I need to check that more often. But no.
Okay, explain HYV then. Yeah. So you said it's got some differing factors versus other social media. What are those?
Totally. So, to be honest, this sounds very salesy. It's not. it really is a new genre of app. What we're doing, there's multiple applications that even the biggest out there, Insta, Snap, things like that,
right,
that are doing some geolocation-based services. Like you have Snap Maps and Insta Maps, right?
Some recently just upgraded to that, where you can now add your location if you want people to know where you're at.
Totally. Mm-hmm. But what we did is, and those are kind of bolt-on features to an existing network. Ours is solely or very explicitly built around the geolocation functionality, which I would love to talk about more, and we'll get into that because the initial kind of reaction to that sometimes like, oh, cool, but do we want people to know? I want my, I don't want to be tracked, things like that. And I'll explain that here in a little bit, but kind of back to the main point. We built this app to help people connect in real life. And that really is not, that is explicitly what it's for. It's not to keep people on their phones. It's to use technology to help people create meaningful connection in real life off of their phones. And the way that we do it.
Scenario.
Yeah. I should have asked you last night to download the app, and you would have got in it today. And I got a push notification on the way here. When you open the app, you're in a map and there's a radius around you. And you can think of that radius as your real-time social network.
Right.
So you build connections on here. You have on the app, you have your profiles like any other social media. You can build connections, you can build groups, things like that. And then you have visibility settings. So I can say, okay, when I go out, I want my connections to be able to see me. So when I drive into town and I come within somebody else's radius or they come within mine, I get a push notification. This individual who's kind of a local connector around here, his name's Tyler Price.
I know Tyler.
Yeah.
I know Tyler actually very well.
Okay. Yeah. So I've talked to Tyler a little bit about this. He's on the app and stuff. So I get a push notification. Hey, Tyler's in your radius, right? I wouldn't know that otherwise. So I can look in that and go, oh yeah, geez, Tyler's, over at Jakers. And I'd be like, hey, Tyler, what's up? I'm over here. You want to meet up afterwards? And then there's variations of that where you can broadcast, which then opens you up to everybody. So when you're out and about, if you want to meet new people, you're in a new area, you're trying to network. There's a lot of different scenarios that you can apply it to. If you change it to broadcast, you become visible to everybody. So they can
not just your friends.
Yeah, not just your friends. Correct. And now I have a huge
you have a huge network.
I'm saying on our app. We don't have a huge user base, but I have a big network on there. And I don't necessarily want everybody to see me, all my connections, right? So you can custom create groups within there and say, hey, I just want my old platoon members from my Scout Sniper platoon to be able to see me. So I create a group, put them in there, and then I can create, a custom option to select. I want these groups, just this group. I want this group and this handful of individuals to be able to see me. You can create it for your families, coworkers, whatever it is.
He's compartmentalizing in real life.
Okay, as you're talking, I'm sitting here going through what would be really beneficial here.
Sure.
So Alex is a realtor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's say she is out and about during the parade of homes.
Totally.
You would want this on for a certain group of people.
Right.
And you could be like, oh, they're at home number 4. I want to start there. You go, you start, and you meet up. Yeah.
Follow me.
Hey, I saw that you were here because we're both on HYV.
Yep.
And I want to show you home number 7. You need to see this builder. It's amazing. You've automatically made a business contact with somebody that you're hoping to do business with later, and you've actually offered them something valuable because you're taking them to a place of, what they want for a home, you need to see home number 7. But that could be a very defined circle for just that time of what you were doing that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
And you can
security because I control
who gets to see it.
And I'll definitely dive into that. But you can flip that scenario also. You're perhaps a new realtor trying to break into the market. You're at Parade of Homes because that's kind of,
it's real
estate centric.
Yeah.
You can flip to broadcast and be like, hey, I'm here, so I'm looking for a realtor. Mm-hmm. I can go through and I'll show you really quickly.
So how is it different than like Facebook Live? Is there no video?
Yeah, it's different. The key differentiator is kind of the real-time discovery piece, right?
Okay.
Like,
because everyone gets a push notification. Whereas when I go live on Facebook Live,
well,
I don't know
Well,
if that's
and
I
so
think it's more a little bit
see-
like Life 360, but
it is.
okay.
It's
Hootier.
closer. Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
more depth.
So we do the exact same thing as I just explained for people. You can do the exact same thing for events as well. Okay. So we have people and events. We'll use events because it's a little busier here.
Okay.
This is my radius. These are the current events that are happening in here. And at the bottom, you have these little carousel cards. So I can go, oh, okay, these are the different events. Let's take a look at what this is. And I can get, in-app directions. There's chats I can RSVP to it.
I know.
I can share it.
I know about that concert because we're promoting it.
Amazing.
For
Or
Floyd.
like
yeah.
every
And
week
so,
at a
see,
Live
I
After
don't,
5.
but I just discovered it, right?
Yeah.
Like I have no idea. Maybe I would hear.
I get that
hear
because
your
a lot of people will call
advertising.
me like, "What's going on this week?" or everything.
Yeah.
because we promote it
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Right, right. But if maybe I missed your show, I didn't see the kind of whatever print media on it or something like
Right.
that. I'm new to Idaho Falls. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I can open this up, and in real time, it's like, cool,
Right, or
these
you're
are the
even
events
just on
and stuff like that.
vacation in our
Totally,
town.
yeah.
You're like, what's
It's the real version of networking.
Correct.
You hear a lot of, well, I network on social media. Well, on Instagram, I bet I only come across because my network is so far out.
Yeah.
I probably don't interact that much with people local, but this is the ability to network in real life.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is people are like, well, how's it different? The difference is all those connections and the discovery is all virtual, right? Like I can discover people across the world on any social network. That's great. Maybe I can make plans to link up with them. But something really important is without intentional effort, right? The kind of intentional effort that's almost always sidelined due to conflicting priorities in life.
Right.
Like that follow through, it rarely happens. You know what I mean? It's like, I just went to this big event in San Francisco,
Right, you just
sponsored
got
by
back.
Workday. And it's like, I met all these amazing contacts and subject matter experts and fellow founders and amazing people. And it's like, oh yeah, let's meet up. Like I'd love to talk to you more. But that happens all the time. And it's like maybe 10, 15% of those follow-ups actually happen. So the difference here is, I guess what I'm saying is it's like, hey, this person is, and I can adjust the radius from 5 miles down to like a little bigger than a city block. So it's like, hey, I'm downtown right now. Alex and Julie are over at this restaurant. I'd love to say hi. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? And again, so it's in real time. It kind of, the whole point is it helps to enable that follow
It's-
through to connect.
Yeah, it's digital, but you transfer it to in person pretty quickly.
Yeah. And we're all so like conditioned at this point to use technology for connection, but it's a very different kind of connection. You know what I mean? You have your Facebook, Insta, any of these things. You have your own persona on there, and rarely is it extremely accurate of who you are, right? You know what I mean? You don't
mine's
put
100% accurate.
I'm not saying it never
We try
is.
to be really
Yeah, but we're
authentic.
very intentional.
like
Totally.
we're not editing our pictures and stuff like that because
Yeah.
we're just, this is who we are.
Yeah.
And
We
that's-
want you to
that's
recognize
amazing.
us when you see us on the street.
For sure. I guess, generalizing that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very easy to put your absolute best self out there.
You bet.
And
It is, and so many people do.
Yeah.
And then there's,
Then there's
we've
real
talked
life.
about mental
Yeah.
health issues that have resulted from that, from other people perceiving like, oh, everyone's life is so perfect and
Yeah.
great, and mine sucks.
totally.
When
Totally.
in reality,
Oh,
we just
yeah,
need
and
to
it's
make more
so-
one-on-one connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys are facilitating.
100%. I'll just show another kind of cool feature that we do. So within that radius, right? This is familiar for social media as well. We have a feed. Now we have no algorithms, no anything like that in ours, but we have a global feed that will show you all of your connections, what they're doing, where they're at, things they're into. But when you switch to this nearby feed, this is everybody that is within my radius right now and what they're doing. So
Cool.
So there's kind of that. Also, it's like, again, maybe, I don't know, you're downtown, what's going on?
Or
it's
your
a
gym
busy
buddies.
weekend. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like,
So how do we spell this again? HYVE?
it's
just V.
Yep.
Oh,
HYV. And then you have to add social on there to find it on your phones because we're.
So I'm sitting here
Still.
thinking,
Because
how would this work in my everyday life? So,
Sure.
At the state cheerleading competition that was held at Mountain America
I was
Center,
there.
were you
My
there?
friend's daughter was competing.
See,
Yes.
and I went because my daughter's choreographed for a local high school. I was actually sitting there going, I bet there's like a dozen people in this room I'd love to talk to because this is my circle of people.
Totally.
But I'm in the Mountain America Center and I don't know where they're at or whatever.
Yeah.
So how accurate can it get? I mean, obviously I
Like
could shoot
dialed
them a
in?
message,
Yeah.
but can I really dial in on the map? How accurate is the location service on the map?
Great question. It ties in very closely. It's probably a nice segue into some of the security aspects of our app.
Yeah.
So we don't do real-time, like what you mentioned, Life 360. We're not doing real-time tracking at a granular level like
Okay.
that. What we're
Okay.
doing is ours has some bounce. I think the refresh is like every 5 seconds or something like that.
Okay.
The location updates. And it's accurate, but there's, like I said, there's kind of that delay. And that's intentional because if you have a super busy map and everybody is moving, it's
Right.
like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
So this kind of helps to slow that down.
Yeah, it's like ants in a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would absolutely be able to know that your friends, connections, community, whatever it is, we're at the Mountain America Center. And you would be able to probably have a pretty good idea of around where. You wouldn't be able to probably just walk up to them with our location alone. But again, kind of
But then
that's
you could
a
message them and say,
built-in.
meet me at 101.
Yeah, and that's a built-in, not kind of, that's an intentionally built thing because it's like, we want you to go, hey, Julie, I'm here, you're here, like, let's go meet up over at concessions, right? As
then it's
opposed to
more
like
consensual.
me walking up and being like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
Alex, and whoa,
I
hey,
actually
how'd you
really like
find
that.
me,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like that because it becomes a consensual meetup.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that was an intention of ours. So I think, like I said, if you guys want to talk more about that, we can. But I think it's a great segue into some of the security.
Yeah, let's talk
aspects.
about
Well,
the
I
It's
want
security.
super
it.
important.
I went to like download it, right? So I'm going to see how easy it is to do. And then in-app purchases.
Yeah,
I right off
okay.
the top found out there's a monthly
Yep.
and an annual price. Is there a free version
There is.
as well?
Yeah.
And then I want to know with that, so what's the difference? If
Totally.
I'm pro social, like what are the other things I'm going to get?
It's a great question. So this is from the deepest part of my heart and sincerely meant.
Right.
We are trying to do things in a good way. We're not trying to make as much money as we can. And it's highly reflected in our product and everything that we're doing. The reason there's in-app purchases is because it is a subscription-based model. We are not using ads to monetize, meaning we have no algorithms that are learning who you are, what your behavior and likes are, things like that. We're not doing anything else to monetize other than subscription-based models. With the free version, we've built it to be everything that we've talked about you can do on there. It's highly useful. Still, the free version, you're not going to get spammed again with ads. You're not going to hit things that you're like, oh, well, I can't even do that with this. You can find and discover friends. You can find, join, and be a part of events. You can be part of groups. You can post. You can do all these things. The paid features are things like you can't create events, so you can't be the admin of an event.
Okay.
But if you're a community connector or you have an organization, all you need is one account and all of your people. Then you can create your events and everything else, and everybody else on the free version can still find it, join it, interact with it, things like that.
And you could still
groups-
broadcast it if you wanted to, correct? Could you
Yeah.
broadcast
You
it?
can still broadcast. Your radius is set, so you can't adjust your radius.
Okay.
We have a feature, and this is a very, very key feature. It's called Look Ahead. And so you're locked into that radius when you're in the map, right? And so you can only see the people and events going on in the radius. With Look Ahead, you can explore anywhere that you want. I can go, hey, I wonder what's going on in Seattle right now. I can unlock the radius and go look in Seattle, and it'll show me the same thing that I would see if I was there. That's useful because I live out of town a little ways, right? And I'm like, hey, I wonder if I don't have anything to do.
What did you say the radius is? Did you say?
I think it's the free
like 5
version.
miles, 10 miles?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The radius is from 5 miles out to, I'll show you here. So the radius is from 5 miles down to a half mile. So I can go from, this is what it looks like, down to.
It's like, for those of you listening, it's like a volume slide.
Yeah. And then you can just hit the mile things too and select it. But
that a preview ahead would be really awesome. Like I'm headed to Utah to go hang out with my daughter next weekend.
Please bring me back a bagel.
I will bring you back. My son-in-law just opened up a bagel shop down there, and they sell out every day. Like it's the bagels are flying off the shelf.
That's amazing.
Oh no bagel.
Oh no bagel.
Yeah. Oh no bagel. But if my other daughter's meeting us there, and if we wanted to go out that night, I could preview what events were happening in Lehigh, Utah, in Highland, Utah, in Alpine, Utah, and know what we could go do. Really, the more people that are on this, and if you're not being spammed by all those ads, this becomes incredibly useful.
Yeah, you can see,
which is why we need to get the word out.
Yeah, and really, it is useful, and it's not consuming. You know what I mean? We don't for many apps, and
you feel so. Are you when you say consuming? Do you mean
I mean
addictive?
Yeah, totally. It doesn't consume your attention and your.
It's a tool.
It is.
Instead of a mind numb.
That's right. And
instead of someone posted this, I need to see what I'm missing.
Yeah. And you'll see on our feed, we've intentionally done things like there are no likes or anything like that on the feed because those are genuine, their engagement, they're
the dopamine hits that aren't healthy for you.
Correct. Right. There are things that applications are optimized for to continue that engagement in FaceTime. So here, instead of being like, hey, I love this photo, it's like, we're all about connection. So I'm going to write, whoever posted this and say, hey, that's an amazing photo. And you're having a real interaction. Or, hey, I don't really like, this post or whatever. But you have that personal interaction. And I think you get a lot more kind of real human connection through that. You know what I mean?
I could see how this could be very useful also for small business owners. You already mentioned Tyler Price, so we'll throw him out there again, and his bus.
Yeah.
Tyler gets people together down at the Snake River to do cold plunges. Yeah. So he just shoots this out. I'm going to be at the river at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, and everybody on Hive is like, oh, I want to go there too. So he gets more people to his cold plunges at the river at 6:30 in the morning.
That's exactly right. And the business model and potential for this, is I think there's a ton of potential there. We're focused right now on C2C, so consumer to consumer type stuff, but the business to consumer and business to business potential in the future is something we're super excited about as well.
Yeah.
But we have to start somewhere. And
well,
we're already doing a lot for a new
The top
app,
of the funnel is a good place to start. So if you want
build that user base.
To buy some radio ads. Shameless plug. You got to be known to be loved.
Yeah.
That's
right.
So
you got to.
It's a good way to get out there.
It's a good way to get out there, reach a lot of people, but maybe even just do an event.
Right.
Do an event where you have an interactive, people download the app and
we just did one
give out honey. I don't know. Like collaborate with like Cox Honey or Browning Honey.
This is getting really deep, and I might even cut this out of the podcast episode, but a lot of people are trying to build their business, right? So we have podcasts, we put up posts. I have another podcast. I have somebody who does my social media for that. When you create something, let's say I create a 1.5-minute video or something, and I want to get it up on all of my profiles, it's just, if I've created the video in something else like CapCut or just on my regular iPhone video, it's immediately publishable on Hive?
Yeah. Up to 30. We don't want people turning it into something with it that they're over consuming content. So up to 30 seconds, it's immediately uploadable.
Love that. Okay.
Yep.
I can totally see that it wouldn't be beneficial for it to be long form.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Like TikTok or Reels or other things that.
Yep.
I want to go back to the very beginning. What the three of you came together.
Yeah.
What was it? Like, what made you decide this is what we need to do? Because something was missing, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Yeah, it's a great story, actually. So I was a Marine Scout sniper. I got out and I did multiple other things. I fought in the UFC for a while. I was on the Ultimate. Yeah, I was on the Ultimate Fighter.
I actually asked Grok about him, and that's what Grok brought up. Was your UFC?
Funny. Yeah. And so I did all these things, and then life moves forward. And I was starting a family, and I was traveling all the time with some of the stuff. I was working overseas for Department of Defense and Department of State doing dignitary protection stuff in Iraq. And as I built a family, it was like I didn't want to be doing that type of thing anymore, and I needed to be home. So a friend of mine worked for the Microsoft Corporation as an executive protection specialist. So he traveled around with executives and did close protection for them. And that's what I was doing overseas for U.S. ambassadors and dignitaries, things like that. Got a hold of him, and he was like, yeah, man, we have opportunities on our team. So I ended up starting to work on the Microsoft Executive Protection team, but I was traveling a lot because now you're kind of keeping executive schedules. You're traveling with them, and I was gone a lot. I met this individual. I did some other work for Microsoft with some of their other programs that needed similar security. And I met this individual, Jason Lee, who's my co-founder. He was working for Microsoft at the time, and we became close friends. He ended up moving on in his career. He was an executive at Salesforce, the CSO for Zoom post-pandemic, and kind of helped build Zoom up to what it is.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then he's done stuff for been interim CSO for lots of different big companies and things like that. And so Jason is a true cybersecurity expert. And Jason and I were talking, and I was like really interested in what they were doing as opposed to what I was doing. So Jason helped me to go back to school, study cybersecurity, and eventually transition out of the executive protection world and get hired with Microsoft as initially it was called a protections and investigations role, where I investigated like network intrusions, DDoS, proprietary information leaks, things like that. And so that's how I met Jason, and that's kind of how I got into tech. And then over the years, Jason, like I said, he moved on. It was funny. Actually, my very first day at Microsoft, Jason, it was his last day at Microsoft to go to Salesforce as an executive there. But we stayed in touch over the years. We do an annual trip. That's actually why I'm all sunburned. We go fish up in Montana every year. And we always talked about doing something together. And I know this is long-winded, but
no, but I like it. We love stories.
Okay, cool.
So
and so, anyways, I went to this reunion years after I had gotten out of the Marine Corps, and at first, I got this email, "Hey, we're having this reunion." And I was like, "Dude, I'd love to go," but I was like, "Work, life, kids, I can't make that happen." People around me were like, "Brandon, this is important. I really think you should take this opportunity." And I did. And I'm so glad that I did, because it truly became one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. Like within minutes of being reunited with my buddies, even though I had this pre-anxiety that I didn't even understand, it was like no time had passed at all. And I had this epiphany of like, dude, over the years, I've lost a very critical piece of myself and my identity, that connection, belonging, brotherhood. And in talking with my teammates, it was like they had all experienced that same thing, the slow, steady drift, disconnection from the people that we were so close with over time. And it was a really amazing thing. And since then, we've made it a point every year to kind of get together and rekindle that and continue to kind of cultivate our relationship. And it's been something that's life-changing. And so that kind of got me thinking about this space, right? How important, especially within the veteran space. Like,
Yeah, like it's okay to do that because it's true. Men don't do it as often. Like I think females, we reach out a lot more.
sure, I agree.
Just naturally and plan things. But
Yeah.
just with roles
Totally.
have been defined.
Absolutely.
And so like you're breaking that mold
Yeah.
and creating opportunity, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I would also say the degradation of one-on-one connection is directly connected to the degradation of mental health.
Yes.
Totally. That was front and center. I mean, you could almost summarize the Workday Human Algorithm Summit that I just did with that statement. There were like Vivek Hari, the 19th and 21st Surgeon General was there. The CEO of the WHO was there, having these super amazing, and there were MIT professors and other neuroscientists that are highly esteemed talking specifically on this issue about, as our society as a whole, how it impacts us physiologically, how much it impacts us in youth developmental, how it impacts us. And we all hear these numbers, but this was like from the horse's mouth. And I can say,
And no one's doing anything to change it until
Correct.
like, I mean,
This
you are.
This will help change
Correct.
it.
But we're just watching it happen.
yeah, it's terrifying, and it's so unbelievably exacerbated by AI right now. Everybody's talking, AI. They should be. It's the capability and the implications that it has to further erode our society, especially human connection, is terrifying. Chatbots, people marrying chatbots, becoming highly dependent on them.
People turning AI into their psychotherapist.
Correct.
Yes.
And on all levels, young adults, not even adults, children committing suicide because they're encouraged through these
They truly don't
conversations.
think there's, they're listening.
Yeah, and it's terrifying. And there's things that, in my opinion, are even more alarming. Like there's this very unholy alliance, in my opinion, between Mattel, the toy company, and OpenAI. I mean, think
You
about
can go
that.
down some. You
right?
can deep dive in some
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Right,
I
right.
tried it.
Yeah.
I live in a bubble.
No, it's easy to do because I mean it's so scary. It's so like, and what's the light at the end of the tunnel? And the reality is, it's like even these leading industry professionals that are so well informed on this, like all the talks were at some point, it's like, okay, so what's the upside here? And my takeaway is, the upside was like, there's a lot of hope that humanity will rally together, realize this, and change course. So that's kind of a personal opinion of what
Trailblazers. There are some that do. I think. I mean,
I hope
there
so.
are.
But
Well,
it's
here's
like
what I
there's
love
no
is that
hard
you're not running
answer.
away from it.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk about AI on the radio
Well, clearly
program.
he's a techie now.
Yeah.
So-
And people will be like, you got to shut AI off. It can't be in your life. And I always say, it's not going anywhere.
No.
So you either control it and
Yeah.
use it for your good,
Correct.
or it runs you over.
That's right. And that's what we need to do as a society. You know what I mean? And there's
Use
nobody
it as a tool and just let it be a tool.
correct. And there's the thing is that's disappointing and alarming is that there's not more meaningful regulation and intervention on it at the levels that can actually affect change. And at this point, the cat's out of the bag. So it's like it really is up to that. That's why this conference was truly amazing. And this was a hot topic there is like, hey, we need people to stand up against this and say, no, I'm not going to buy that product, or I'm not going to engage at the level that many people are. And we're even being encouraged to with AI in ways like with the chatbots and things like that. And we need to stand up against it. which is a very tall order. I personally, I'm not an expert on any of these matters, but it's very thought provoking, and it's like, I hope we do. I don't know if we will.
I hope we do. It's hard because the mighty dollar drives.
It does
everything.
But I would love to see the actual screen sidelined after you use it as a tool and you make personal connections.
Yeah. And it is like that. Honestly, is what we're trying to do, right? Let me
get people to switch apps almost like.
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of a grassroots step towards freeing yourself from a lot of the algorithms and addictive qualities and features of the very prevalent social medias and things like that.
One thing I love my social media for is it's like a live journal, right?
Sure.
So I do not actually care how many likes I get. I put a lot of stuff up there, but I can go back and look at fun moments and things.
But you could still do that and not scroll.
I could do that and not scroll. Totally. How does the history work on your app? Does it
I'm
save
so
your
glad
whole
you
history?
asked that. I was literally just about to kind of pivot to this point.
I'm sorry, that is my bad habit. I jump ahead.
I love
my
it.
brain.
It's great. No, it was literally perfect. It's like you were reading my mind.
Yeah.
So
I was reading your mind.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very intuitive. No.
So data and your digital identity when you're dealing with social media, any online platform is something that
it's currency.
Yeah, it 100% is. Mm-hmm. So when I say we're trying to do things for good, I think that this is one of the best reflections of that in our application is one, we'll talk real quick about location and the data. We collect none of your historical data location data. Other than one data point that is required for us to operate our app. And when I say we don't collect it, that means it's purged from our back-end systems. There is no historical record on our systems of that. So we keep the last known location because we need that for our app to function.
Right.
That's it. Now, data retention, we just released this feature a few weeks ago. Everybody has the ability in the app to come to their settings page and go data retention. And you can choose how long your posts, profile media, event media, chat messages are retained. You can choose forever. You want them purged every 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, a year. And when we say purged, there's applications out there that were built around the idea of, hey, my data disappears after this time. It doesn't. It persists on the back end, and it's completely recallable, not to the public, but it's still existing data.
And then can be sold.
Correct. We are not doing that. When you say, I want mine gone every 7 days, it's gone. It's no longer there.
That.
I like that too. I like that it's customizable.
Snapchat like 4 years ago just because I felt like
what a waste of time.
Didn't like it. Well, and I
was
doing it because my friends like wanted me to do it, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not in high school. I don't have time for this."
Agreed.
People are like, "You're not on Snap anymore." I'm like, "No," and I don't care.
Exactly.
You have done. I will say this because we're about out of time. There is some very thoughtful processes here.
Thank you.
You have analyzed social media and gone, we're not going to run away from it. We're going to be a part of it, but we're going to fix the almost like collateral damage that occurs because of this on this app and this on this app and this on this app.
Yeah.
You've collated that information and gone, we won't do that. We will do this. And it's a healthier version that then leads to
just
connecting one-on-one.
Taking a product and refining it. Like what's missing or what could we do better? What
should we delete? What should we add?
Yeah. And at this point, that's squarely where we're at. We're totally focused on user acquisition so that we can get a user base and we can listen to our users and say, this is what they want. This is what we'll build. So we've largely kind of halted our feature development and we're focused on quality improvements, stuff like that. And we're really looking forward to seeing where this goes and where people want to take us.
Well, that's exciting. I definitely want to have you back in like a year to see
how
that'd
it
be
goes.
amazing.
How big the
I would love
Hive
to.
got.
And
That'd
I'll
be
totally
incredible.
download.
Yes.
Yeah, she's already got it
I
downloaded. I'll download
downloaded
it.
while we
Cool.
were here, guys. It's
Yeah.
that
It's
easy.
that easy.
Yeah, and look me up on it. Connect with me, and you kind of see how it works. How much time do we have? Can I
Yeah,
cover?
about
You get
5 more
about
minutes.
5
We're
more
gonna
minutes.
ask-
Yeah, keep
yeah.
going.
Let me cover 2 things real quick. One, I would love to. My team is incredible. We're a tiny company. Like I mentioned, my relationship with Jason Lee, and that's kind of how this started. A super cool thing happened though. I was on the executive protection team at Microsoft. Jason mentored me. I was in that role while I went to school, learned tech, and got a job in tech or a career. Our other co-founder is Cody Kronberger, and he followed the exact same path. He's a former Army Ranger. He was on the Microsoft executive protection team. He went to school, and he was a developer for Amazon for years. Another developer on our team, Pete, he followed the same path, same team, same idea. He also has worked for Amazon for years, and he's now our developer. So we have our company is veteran founded, owned, and operated.
That's so awesome.
And the collective experience.
Yeah, and none of us are like, except for with the exception of Jason, who is an amazing, very well known person within tech, especially the security space. Pete, Cody, and myself all came from completely different backgrounds within being operators in the military to working in tech. So, anyways, I just wanted to say that because my team's incredible. What they have done is incredible, and I love working with these guys. And then the last thing is
I want to pause because not everyone's going to see his face. That was 100% genuine. Did you see him light up as he was talking about those friends?
Cool. Yeah,
Well, and
they're
You guys
amazing.
are really friends. You can tell.
We're tiny, and we are doing this all ourselves. We're not VC backed. We're not looking to be VC backed right now. It's like we all hustle in every aspect, and we're learning as we go. And the work ethic of Pete, Jason, Cody is like none other, and it's incredible. I love
I
it.
have a question I want to interject real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have an experience of any of you from using your app that you wouldn't have had otherwise? Like a real life story, like because of this app and the connection, like you used it and then you had this amazing experience. Any one of you?
Let's see here.
Like a personal testimonial, like.
Yeah. No, it's a great question. I have had one interaction where I was traveling. I was it was actually while I was in San Francisco.
Okay.
I traveled to San Francisco. I'm in the Uber to get to the venue, and I get a push notification that one of my former Marines who have recently been kind of pouring into the app was nearby. And I literally have not talked to this individual for 20 plus years since I've gotten out, and we were able to connect because of that.
And he wasn't there for the same thing you were.
No, he
just
had no
happened to be
ideas
there?
in town. He had like a day before downloaded the app because I kind of am trying to do this grassroots movement with all my former teammates, and they're
like,
spreading
yo, bro,
the word. And
join the Hive.
so we're starting to get a pretty good
Yo,
group
bro,
of Marines.
join the Hive.
That's how I would do it. That was my Army Ranger voice.
Gotcha. The one other thing just before we close, because I think it's very important, is our safety features, and I'll highlight just a couple of them. We have something called a privacy fence. So it's a similar thing to your radius, but you can set it around your home, your work, your gym, whatever. And you can configure it so it's like when I leave this radius, I want to be seen by my connections, whatever you want to be seen. I want to broadcast, whatever. When I enter it, I want to be hidden, or I only want to be seen by these groups. So if you forget to change your settings, you can feel confident that people can't, follow you back to your place of work, your gym, whatever. We have, let's see here. Like I said, we've built it intentionally not to be super location based, or like real time location based.
Because we don't want to be stalked.
Yeah, that's right.
We have had stalkers. We don't want more.
Totally. And then the granular level control of your visibility, who, when, where, and how you're seen. And we have, all the typical features of like being able to block users, not accept connections, and then become invisible to them, things like that. So when you
Super
put it all
important.
together,
Yeah.
you really do have granular level control of when you're seen, where and how, backed up and reinforced by the fact that we're not collecting or tracking you in any way. Like, we have no idea your habits, where you're going all
Right.
the time.
You
or
don't
anything
care.
like
You're
that.
just simply providing a
Yeah.
platform for people
Yeah.
to connect safely.
Totally.
So
yeah.
we end every podcast with one last little nugget message from you to everyone. So I'll ask you to close out with that. Just from Brandon Sene.
Put me on the spot here. Let's see.
And then also hit everyone with your socials.
How to get a
connect.
hold of HYV.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I would just say, take a moment and reflect on how technology is being used in your life. I feel like we're being inundated with that message, so much so that it's almost become generic and like, oh yeah, I know it's bad, but whatever. But really stop and think about it and think about how it's changed your life, and is it for the better or not? And extend that to your children if you have children. I'm a single dad with full custody of 3 young children, and technology is so prevalent in their life, and I do not see it as a positive thing. So I would just encourage people to really take a minute and reflect on that and act accordingly, I don't know, not a super deep message, but I think it's very important.
No, very important.
And very, it pairs well with what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So to get a hold of me, this is ironic, but I'm not a big social media guy. I do have Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, HYV, and Facebook. You can look me up at Brandon Sene on any of those, preferably HYV. You can connect with me at Brandon. Use the B button in the middle from the map screen and find connections or groups is in that menu. Let's see. LinkedIn is probably the best way. I feel like that's what I'm increasingly using to help promote this and everything else. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not filled with a lot of the minutia that's on some of the other apps.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So,
and remind everybody it's spelled HYV. That's HYV, HYV Social, on all of the platforms where you can buy your apps or get your apps.
Absolutely. And that said, I am very engaged. If you're interested, please reach out to me. I would love to talk with anyone who's interested in this space, the app, anything else. So that would be great.
Thank you, Brandon, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. Love it.
Thanks for joining us today on the We Share podcast.
If you've loved what you've heard, please give us a 5-star rating. Tell your friends and share this show.
You can also follow us for recipes, lifestyle and fashion tips, book reviews, and more on WeSharePodcast.com.
Join our Share Squad and sign up for our newsletter there.
We would love to connect with you.
We share on TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. Give us a follow.
A big goodbye squeeze and sending you all our love from Alex and Julie.
Join us next week on the We Share podcast.